It's wonderful to have you join us on today's edition of Joy Asonye Live. I'm excited because what we are going to be discussing is a topic a lot of people have asked me to actually get to talk about. Young people, especially the Gen Z. Now, that's a generation that stands at a crossroad, especially Nigeria's Gen Z. They are digital pioneers born into a world of instant connection, yet facing unprecedented social fragmentation. They navigate economic uncertainties, digital overload, and cultural shifts that leaves many feeling connected yet profoundly alone. Today, that's what we'll be confronting, that critical question. Can we rebuild the fabric of community in the age of algorithmic isolation? Well, in the studio, we have Tamunoimim Kalada-Green, a visionary founder and organizer of the GenZeal Conference, an Abuja-based young person. This conference is dedicated to, according to him, helping the Generation Z live with purpose, build meaningful connections, and step into their influence. The 2025 GenZeal Conference, themed Sense and Influence, is a one-day event taking place on the 2nd of August, and we'll be getting to all those issues. But the GenZeal addresses pressing issues that youth face, particularly around mental health, social integration, and technology, offering real conversation. Inspiring speakers will be there, practical sessions designed to leave young attendees grounded, connected, and confident in making personal and societal impact. That's what we'll be discussing on today's edition of the program. Stay with us, we'll go for a short break. When we return, I'll introduce and unveil my guests and get to the crux of the matter. But Gen Z is our focus today. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Welcome back from that very short break. Like I told you before, we have Tamunoimim Kalada-Green right here in the studio. Thank you so much for being part of this.
Thank you for having me, Dr. Joy.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. The pleasure is all mine. You are a young person. Do you even see the problem? Like in my opening, I was talking about social integration, community, digital overload. Is that a problem you see? From my end, I see a big problem considering, growing up, integration was easier. Nobody was socially awkward because we had it from childhood where you visit neighbors, your friends could go visit you, your parents aren't even scared because the community was safer. But that's not it today. Do you see a problem?
I would agree with you to say that there is a problem, right? Especially with respect to social connections. And from the perspective of social media gives us a hyper-connected world, right? But with people having poor social skills, poor connecting ability. So I can reach my friends in Asia, America, all the parts of the world, but sometimes there's a trade-off in our use of social media with reaching the people that are just around us. And so the technological advances in social media and the way that social media is used by a lot of people in my generation has caused our social skills to atrophy, right? And I mean that because social skills are like a muscle. The more you practice socializing with people, the better you get at it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And so what is being traded for social skills is now social media skills. And so I like to say something. Millennials get the first of social media. Gen Zs get the best of social media. And what I mean by that is the advent of social media started with the millennials. But the technology has been so refined.
And it was really fast.
Yes.
It was very swift, especially for some of us. We woke up one morning and life was different.
And an exponential increase in the use, in the adoption. And it's even it's even advancing faster in the technology that's being developed, right? And so we see that there are advances in the technology. And that's what I mean by Gen Z gets the best of social media. Now, the thing is, social media is not the enemy, right? I'm a Christian and there is a text in the Bible right? The love of money is the root of all evil. Some people have misquoted it to say money is the root of all evil. It's not money, it's the love of it. And so social media in itself, it's not bad. It's not evil. It has done a lot of good for us.
It has.
However, the issue is the use of social media, the way it is used, and I think that conversations around this need to be had, and young people should be encouraged to practice safe use of social media.
But I don't think you quite addressed the question I asked.
Right.
Not having had the kind of childhood that me, a millennial, had, do you see a problem when I tell you that you guys are very isolated?
I see a problem in that. And the question of isolation and independence, I would say, stems from the fact that information is easily accessible, very easily accessible. Today, years ago, if you wanted to know something in one strange topic like that, maybe quantum physics, you would have to look for a textbook or a professor and ask the questions. But now...
And go or find a library.
Very true. But now, I just opened...
It's a Google search away.
No, the cool kids are not using ChatGPT.
Oh, yeah. Forgive me. I'm still stuck up on Google.
I mean, I open ChatGPT, I can even put all the typos, spell quantum mechanics as quantum mechanics with a K.
And it would give you
an excellent answer. And so, the fact that solutions are a lot more easily accessible has made us a bit more reluctant to do what we need to do in the pursuit of solutions. Now, normally what we would do when we needed such solutions is we would relate, we would ask questions, we would ask this uncle that knows this professor if they can borrow us this book, and like that we now remember that we have not spoken to that uncle in 2 weeks.
Exactly.
And
Which
so
brings about that lacuna, that problem of, yes, this is something for us. It was seamless. I mean, it's your civic responsibility even to wake up and call your uncle and greet them. Are you okay? It's expected of you to keep that connection. As a matter of fact, because you one day call him and ask him for favors, you have to keep the connection.
Yes.
But your generation will just place that call only when you need help and have that entitlement. I'm not saying it in a bad way. There's this entitlement of, yes, I need this and I need it now, and you should know that I need it because this is what I have to do at the moment.
Are we really that bad?
It's as bad as I'm painting. It's absolutely as bad as I'm painting. So, yes, you were talking about how, it gets to a point where you probably have to call some uncle and all that. Somebody you hadn't even remembered to speak with in so long.
Yeah, so you now know how to package that discussion so that uncle will respond. You understand? Right? And so some of these struggles, right, in communication actually help you grow, right? Because resistance helps you grow, right? And when you are put in a funny situation, you will know next time not to keep uncle for 2 weeks. But with the ease of accessibility, there is not much need to have those social interactions. So when you really need help from other people, you now find it hard to ask for help, right? So an abundance of knowledge and an ease of access has helped people to go into their caves and stay in isolation, yet feeling like they are connected. Because that device in your hand can give you access to 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 followers. Right. But in real life, it's not helping you to interact with those around you.
Well, you have given us a good context as to these issues, and the Gen Z is very interesting generation, the Gen Zs. I mean, there's the Gen Alpha. Those ones I'm afraid for what to expect. I'm really afraid for what to expect. But in Nigeria particularly, we've had those issues, the technological overload and all that. And I would just say, holistically speaking, as to the issues, mentorship is still necessary because una believes una sabi everything.
Are we that bad?
Una believes una sabi everything. And what do you do to get mentors? A lot of you hear the words. I've had instances where I connected someone who said, I am very interested in climate change advocacy, and I was excited to meet someone who is that interested. I have a friend who is Ebaide is #1 champion when it comes to climate change issues, so she's always there. And I said, you know what, This is her number. She has represented Nigeria, spoken in events internationally. She's done so much around climate change. She's someone who would hold your hand. Apart from the many things she's done, she can hold your hand in the process. If you are that interested in environment, climate financing, environmental adaptability, and everything in between, I gave this boy the number and said, okay. So I would also preempt her to expect your call, so it's not awkward. A couple of weeks after that, he sent me a message to say she hasn't called me. That's the Gen Z that I know and love. So do you even think, knowing that there's access to solutions, there's available information and all that, do you guys even believe you need mentors?
Okay, I'll start by saying that me, I don't think that is bad. I just think that, okay, there's one or two things we need to correct, we need to tweak, because the same social media that we are feeling like is connecting people.
Right.
Some people are championing fantastic causes on social media.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I have friends that are advocates, right? Some in education.
Do you need mentors?
Come in now. I'm coming there. Some in various fields, and they put their work out through social media. They get mentors through social media, right? But I would say mentorship is something that is needed, and I'll explain why. Knowledge sometimes is not context specific. Your mentor is somebody that would have taken knowledge, applied it in the context that you want to apply it in, and has what is called tested results. So you hear this is how to do this. You hear a list of things to do in order to set up a business successfully. Right? You learn that in a book. You ask ChatGPT, it tells you do this, do this, do this, do that. And you take that information now. You want to start applying it, and you apply it and you see that it's failing.
Okay.
Sometimes the reason is not because you are unlucky. It's because you don't understand context. You don't understand the context of the environment you're dealing with. And so a mentor is somebody that has taken that information and maybe even more, applied it and seen results, knows what works in certain situations, knows what will not work in certain situations, and can tell you, okay, this thing you are doing is wrong for your stage. You are not supposed to be focusing on landing page. You don't even have a product yet.
Absolutely.
Stuff like that. And so mentorship is something that is needed by everybody. My friends have accused me, dragged me of having too many mentors. But
okay.
I'm the one that knows what I'm looking for.
Exactly.
Right? I believe that if I want to grow to a point, if I want to be able to impact others, I need to learn from as many people as possible that have been able to impact others, that have been blessings to lives, so I can be a blessing to other people.
Right.
And I also know
that...
So,
long story short, you personally have mentors?
Yes, I do.
Oh, that's nice.
Some of them are even speaking at GenZeal Conference.
Oh, the GenZeal Conference. We'll get into the GenZeal Conference in a minute. But let's get to other parts of... We're just talking about the issues generally.
Okay, no
where, let's get to the technological overload. Is there such a thing? Is that something that we should very well be weary about, where half the time young people are on their phones? Like you have said, fantastic innovations are ongoing. But what happens to the mental health of this person? The psychological health of this person, the emotional health and needs of this individual?
All right, so that's a valid question, because I was reading a report by Deloitte the other day, and I believe it was about 46% of Gen Zs that claim that they are struggling with depression based on what they see online. So it is true that what is seen online can actually have an effect on the mental and emotional health of people, and is having an effect on the mental and emotional health of Gen Zs. Personally, I feel like that statistic, if people were being honest, that statistic would be a lot higher. It would be a lot more than that percentage that Deloitte quoted. But I mean, they are Deloitte. So it is true, and I'll explain why. You don't wake up on social media and just take a picture of yourself in your freshly awoken state, with how your face looks when it's in the morning, your pajamas, everything is just your bread that you have not even spread. You don't do that. When you want to post on social media, you settle down, ensure the lighting is right, your makeup is righteous, You are looking like the spitting image of a god or a goddess, and then you post and you just say something like,
I just woke
casual
up like
Thursday,
this,
just
right.
woke up like this, stuff like that. Do you understand? And so it's what is called the highlight reel. On our social media, we only post our wins, we only post our best, we only post our greatest. Nobody really posts the struggles they are going through. Nobody really posts their
Which
vulnerabilities.
inadvertently pressures the next person.
Exactly.
So I'm seeing you looking all fly, good vibes, you're probably in some yacht and all that. Meanwhile, you broke a bank to do that.
And you're owing money.
I'm probably owing a lot of money. And then I'm seeing you and I'm like, I must not be doing something right if I do not have the opportunity to also be where you are.
Yes.
So how did we get here to that place where we are pressured and then we have this number of mental health issues because of what I see online?
It's what is called FOMO, fear of missing out. Now, FOMO is not a new concept.
Oh yeah, a lot of us have always been pressured in.
Yes, fear of missing out. All my friends are going to university. I'm not going to university. I have to stay home for 1 year. I have to find a way. I must go to university. All my friends are in science class. That one, regular. All my
that one
friends
happened to a lot of people, right?
A lot of people. I even know some close people. Well, not GenZeal, but it happened to them. It pressured them. All my friends are in science class. I will be in science class too. They realized, this is not for me. I'm going to arts, commercial. And so, FOMO is not a new thing. The fear of missing out is not a new thing. But it is amplified by media that is connecting you to everybody's highlight reel. You're seeing the highlight reels of all your friends from uni. You're seeing the highlight reel of one guy that is 22 in California and claims that he's doing drop shipping and he's a hustle bro and he's showing you his trade on Forex with $1.2 million. But you don't know that he has made trades that has lost him $150 million. He's just posting the highlight reel. You that you have finished from school last year, you're now feeling under pressure to perform because you're seeing everyone's highlight reel. So that is what has amplified it, I would say. The hyper connectivity and the highlight reels and sometimes fake life of other people is putting us under pressure.
But there was such a time for us when we read about these people, we are inspired to do more, but the inspiration was very healthy and it didn't have to be follow this person's footsteps. It was, okay, if this person could do it, I can do it. And so how do we, because you don't want an uninspired generation, right? But you do not also want generations that are so pressured that it now becomes a I would do anything for pay kind of thing.
Yes.
So how do you suggest that we get that balance where, listen, you're a photographer, be the best in your art, no competition, just be good in what you do. The next person is a musician, be good at what you do. Maybe because you're a musician, you're in front of the stage, but you're a photographer. You're supposed to be behind the stage, So how do we get that healthy balance that also does not affect your mental health?
I think the first step is self-discovery. Yeah, like really understanding who you are and the value you can contribute. And now there's a caveat to this.
Okay.
There's a lot of gist right now about discovering purpose. You must know why you are here or what to do.
Absolutely.
And I'm a big advocate for discovery of purpose. Discovery of purpose is what has led me to do a lot of the things I've done to help to build people. But I think the encouragement to discover purpose needs to be balanced with the fact that it will take time. And so young people should not be afraid to learn and experiment, right? So try new things, learn, experiment, but at the back of your mind, have it that you are on your journey to discovering purpose and seek to add value, right? Not just to be considered as quote-unquote valuable. When we can discover ourselves and understand the unique way by which we can add value to others, it might be cooking, it might be tech, it might be public speaking. When you realize the unique way you can add value to others and be a blessing to people around you, just pursue after that. That's what I would advise. It's not about becoming the most popular person online.
Right.
It's about what are you doing for the person to your left, to your right? What is it that you wake up every day and you do that another person is thanking their creator for because of you? And so I would advise for a perspective shift from popularity to impact. Just make up your mind that you want to be a blessing to people. If you do that, sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit. Well, we've gotten to the part where we would go for a short break. When we come back, we'll get to discuss this GenZeal conference that he's convening. He will be telling us all you need to know about that conference, how you too can participate, what to expect, the people who are going to be speaking at that conference, and entirely what it's about. We'll be right back. Welcome back, and thank you so much for staying with us. We are now discussing the GenZeal conference. First of all, how did you get inspired to start this conference? What's the inspiration to even think GenZeal? But moreover, it's Gen Z, then EAL. That's like the zeal, right?
GenZeal. Yes.
I see what you did there.
Thank you.
I see what you did there. So you give us an idea how that was conceptualized.
Okay, so I'm a spiritual person, right?
Oh,
And
hallelujah to you too.
glory to God. And so, 2 years ago, I was praying in my room. I was in university praying in my room, and I started seeing a conference. At that point in time, I'd already started what is called Tesla's Leadership Network. It's a community of young people that are intentional about their living, right? So they are giving to intentional living, giving to building excellent organizations, and making positive social impact. I was seeing a conference, and I thought, okay, Tesla's Leadership Network is going to have a conference. I just kept it in one note like that. But as time grew closer for execution, I realized that this conference is beyond just the community I'm starting. This conference is for people in my generation. That's what's now led to GenZeal Conference. Now, GenZeal Conference stands on two legs. The first leg is my belief that young people can live their lives intentionally.
Right.
They can make positive impact.
Absolutely.
We can do a lot of good. We have the skills, right? We need the mentorship. And if we combine those two together, if we have honest conversations and deal with matters pertinent to us, special to us, we'll do a lot of good, right? And so I believe that, and I've lived my life believing that as a young person, I can live intentionally and make positive impact. My parents have encouraged me to do that a lot, right? And so this is my personal belief, right?
Okay.
And then there is a statistic that I came upon recently. Gen Z's make up, as of last year, 2024, Gen Z's made up 24.8% of global population. That's about a quarter of the world's population. And you see, the thing is that this generation that is a quarter of the world's population is an emerging generation. What I mean by that is that we are still discovering ourselves. Look at it. Gen Z is from 1997 to 2012. This is a phase where people are making some of the most important decisions of their life. Starting from, should I go to art or science class? To which university am I going to who am I going to marry? These are the questions that Gen Zs are asking. And these questions set them up for the next 40, 50, 60 years of their lives. And so special intervention is needed, and special attention is needed for this generation if we will build our lives intentionally. And so, standing on these two things, we came up with the GenZeal Conference. And the idea behind the GenZeal Conference is to encourage young people to live their lives with intentionality, because they are at a crucial phase of their lives, right? This year's theme is sense and influence. And by sense, I mean practical wisdom. Practical wisdom. So you know that thing that somebody will say, do you have sense? You cannot borrow sense.
You cannot borrow sense.
Somebody should borrow you. Say,
Right.
One time my mother told me that, and I said, wow, how have I fallen? Somebody should borrow me sense. And so from that whole, do you have sense something? Sense means practical wisdom.
Right.
Practical wisdom. Asking yourself questions about your future and taking decisions in your present so that your future looks like where you actually want to go to. And influence speaks to high-value relationships. Now, when I talk about high-value relationships, when I talk about the word influence, what a lot of people get is popularity. Oh, a lot of people know me. I would say popularity deals more with scope of influence. right, than weight of influence. And I'll explain the two. Scope of influence is how many people know me. How popular am I? This person knows me, Dr. Joy knows me, Victor knows me, Salem King knows me, all these people, these different people know me, right? That's an example of scope of influence. Weight of influence is, I can call this person and ask them for something.
And you will get it.
And I'll get it. Or I can call this person and encourage them to do something, encourage them to make this decision, do this thing like this, do like that, and they'll do it. And so networking will speak to expanding your scope of influence, right? But building a healthy relationship deals much more with the weight of influence.
Absolutely.
Yes, and so in GenZeal Conference, we want to talk about how to build healthy relationships, right? And how to actually network, how to maintain relationships. Like this person you mentioned, that you set up the meeting, you give the person the number, and the person was waiting for them to call them. That's an example of poor networking. No shades. That's an example.
Shades taken, actually. Because you should take shades.
She said you should take shades.
Yes, please, by all means, because there must be a change. If you're not ashamed of yourself, there will not be change.
Right? And so
all right, as long as I'm taking the heat.
No, it's not you. It's the person that did not reach out.
No, you were very political to remove yourself and say, all right, you can say that, you can take the heat.
Political.
I see that.
It's my helper.
I see that.
Right. And so when we talk about something like that, that's an example of a poor networking, right? Or a poor networking strategy. You're giving the number, you're giving the address, you don't reach out to the person, you don't reach out to the person on time, right? Okay, maybe you reach out to the person, you have your mentorship meeting, you have this person now knows you. How do you nurture that relationship to be something valuable? And I would advise that when we are networking, we should look more for what ways we can add value to a person, than what ways we can receive value of a person. Because there is a gist in networking, you try to network up, right? And the idea is look for somebody that can help your life.
Absolutely.
But in looking for somebody that can help your life, that person can help many other people's lives. So what are you bringing to add value to that person that can help nurture a healthy relationship? And so that's what the whole idea behind GenZeal Conference is. Young people can live their lives intentionally. They can build their lives with sense and influence.
Ooh, that's a huge one. Who should attend? Only Gen Zs?
Well, no, not only Gen Zs. So the event is targeted at Gen Zs, right? But I believe the older generation should attend as well. I believe so strongly, because one thing about communication is that there is intention behind communication, but there's also how that intention is perceived. And that's based on the mindset, the mental state of the audience. If the older generation will effectively mentor, train, guide Gen Zs, and we need your wealth of knowledge and wisdom, we do.
You're making me sound very old.
Well, any generation that is above Gen Z is older than Gen Z. But you're not very old.
It's okay. I mean, I saw a trend on social media. They were asking Gen Zs, when do you start calling someone old? You say if you're 35, when you're 30, and these are 20-year-olds, these are 19-year-olds, and they were like, when you're 30, you must be very old. And a lot of people would very well relate. There were times when we saw 40-year-olds and you're like, damn, you will soon die. Damn, you're old. You must be very old. And yeah, I can understand. So go ahead. So you need our wealth of experience and knowledge. Go ahead. I will survive.
And so communication stands on intention and audience. And so if the older generation will be able to nurture us well, effectively enough, then they'll need to understand us. And it's being in rooms like this where conversations about Gen Zs are being had that will help
both parties to understand where your head is at and what we can do and how to navigate you, because sometimes I see the frustration even in parents that have young children.
Yes. And so we're calling Gen Zs, we're calling Gen Z parents, we're calling millennials, anybody that wants to really influence this generation, anybody that believes in our potential, come for GenZeal Conference. You'd hear a thing or two about this emerging generation that will shift your perspective and help you know how to relate with them. And to my fellow Gen Zs, fall out for your boy. Come on, this is our conference. Come around. Anywhere you are in the city of Abuja, come around. This conference will be perspective shifting because it is a conference that is intentionally curated for you. It's your conference. Matters that you are dealing with, matters that you can learn about. It is your conference. Show up.
Okay, so what are the activities one should expect? Because I know that with Gen Zs, your attention span is so short. Maybe I'm sounding, I'm beginning to sound like you people are bad. No, it is just who you are. Your attention span is way shorter than normal people.
We are normal people. I don't get we are normal people.
But I know that your attention span is quite short. You could very well put somebody like me in a conference, and because there's so much to learn, I would sit there, I would listen, I would take notes and all that. But I also know that with the younger generation, the Gen Zs, your attention span is short. So what are the activities that will be engaging enough to keep these people there to actually learn this social integration that you're talking about and all the many lessons to be learned?
All right. So first of all, we've selected our speakers very intentionally. Pardon me. We've selected speakers that we know will be able to connect with Gen Zs. We selected speakers that we know will bring that vibe, that energy that we like.
Right.
So conference has to do with a lot of talking, but the talking is going to be interesting. It's going to be captivating. We have ensured that our speakers are like that, even down to our MC, right? We've ensured that there are going to be networking sessions, opportunity for us to actually talk with one another without somebody talking on the stage, right? We've ensured that there will be some side attractions, maybe like spoken word, stuff like that, because we like spoken word.
Oh yeah, especially one that is talking about social issues and all that. I've been in a position where spoken words will just charge young people up, but like, yeah, like talk bad about government, yeah. Never mind.
Government is great. I hail governments.
We'll talk after the show. I'll hear your true thoughts.
These are my true thoughts. So yes, we've intentionally crafted the program, created the program, so that, because I mean, it's a conference where we need to talk, we need to have discussion. So there will be a lot of talk. That one be guaranteed. Lots of information is going to be poured into you in this snapshot of intentionality. However, it's going to be really interesting, and it's not just talk. You're going to hear about some opportunities from some of our sponsors. You're going to hear about come for the conference. Come for the
conference. Don't let everything out there. Right. Is it a paid conference?
It is free. 100% free. It's 100% free. Right. So you don't have to worry about your Shein cart.
What does that mean?
Okay, Shein cart is like this. You know how you shop on Jumia. You load your Jumia cart, right? And so when you have loaded your Jumia cart, you can now pay for your items on Jumia. So what we do is what some of us do. So go to Shein. We'll select a number of things that we like. Right. Load it on the cart. But we have enough money.
You pay all. Okay.
Yes. So I'm telling you now, if you've been saving money and you're asking,
am I going to spend money to get to this, right?
Am I going to spend money on this conference? Or am I going to betray one or two dresses on Shein? Don't worry, you can buy your dress and attend. If I buy the dress, attend
with the dress. That's interesting.
So it's 100% free. It's 100% free. Yeah, no money attached. Just come with your note, with your pen, maybe a bottle of water and some snacks, and you're set.
Okay, so when you speak with young people about this conference, what's the reception you get?
Wow, the reception is heartwarming, because I mean, yesterday I was on a call with our marketing team. We have like 5 subdivisions. Marketing is only one, and we announced this call like a few minutes to the call for some people. They left whatever they were doing. They came online, started saying, "This is what we can do. This is how I can do. This is what I can do to help push this agenda forward." I'm seeing so much support from my fellow Gen Zs. I'm seeing people saying they want to give towards this event. I'm seeing people saying, talk to this person can help in sponsoring this. I'm seeing people say, how much are you paying for this? I'm going to cut down the price. I'm going to pay this for you. This support is amazing. Young people are believing in this vision. They are volunteering in their numbers. And I say volunteering because that's the first place we can test whether an idea is catching fire. And they're volunteering in their numbers. And I'm just so humbled to be leading this, to be spearheading this, right? So when it comes to how are they responding, how are they reacting, well, we are active.
Oh,
we are active.
Young people are active.
We are active.
So moving forward and subsequent edition, what do you see happening after? This is the first, isn't it?
Yes, this is
the first edition, right? So do you project that after this you have like an annual, biannual? Would you make a series out of it and all that?
All right. So it would be lovely to have annual editions and activities in between, right? I know that one issue that a lot of people face when they attend conferences is like, oh my goodness, I've learned so much, I can change the world.
Right.
How? So they don't learn to transform knowledge to action points. And beyond just transforming knowledge to action points, you need to actually take that knowledge, transform it to an action point that you will repeat consistently.
Yeah. That
will help you transform into the person that knowledge should make you. So for example, I am learning about, what am I learning about recently? I'm learning about the habit cycle, right? Maybe I'm reading Atomic Habits, I'm learning about the habit cycle. Cue, craving, response, reward. And I say, wow, this is a brilliant idea. I take a picture of it, I put it on my wall. That's where it ends for some people. So we now need to learn, okay, this is the habit cycle, how can I adapt it to my life? That's the first place.
Right.
I have a mentor, Dr. Danre Amodu. He will say, in everything you are listening to, whenever you are attending an event, whether you are listening to a lecture, write something down, write action points beside it. This action point is what will change your life, not just the knowledge. And so after getting those action points, the next thing is to ask ourselves, how are we going to effect it? So I come for GenZeal Conference and all the speakers are saying things like they read books. I need to start reading books.
Right. I
write it down as an action point. We need to take that action point and make it a SMART goal. Right? SMART, specific, measurable, actionable steps. What's that? That are realistic and time bound.
You have listened to a lot of motivational speakers.
Motivational, personal development. I can't motivate if I'm not motivated myself.
You should be motivated. Government is good, remember?
Yes, government is good.
Government is good.
So you transform that into a goal, and then you now have a system, right? This is where many goals fail. There's no system, right? So you learn to transform this structure you have created into a habit that you repetitively do. And after you've transformed it into a habit, you've intentionally taken all that time, you now make it, okay, have accountability. Now, I've spoken about how to make an action point the rest of your life. Where does GenZeal Conference now come in? So, I believe that the conference is a starting point. I host conversations normally, regularly, on particularly on my Instagram.
Okay.
I call it Y-Side, honest conversations for growing people from a Gen Z's perspective. And so, in Y-Side, I will follow up on a number of these matters. And I look forward to actually having repeated calls, repeated discussions with attendees of GenZeal Conference to ask them, okay, post-conference, what are you doing with the knowledge you've learned, right? It's something that I look forward to doing after the conference, right? I'm spilling the beans now.
No, I mean, it's just enough to pique interest, to say, okay, so this is what's going on, this is what I should really look out for, and that's exciting. That you already have a community of people who follow you online and all that, and say, okay, this is the Gen Z's perspective, this we can align with and be relatable to, and all that. It's exciting. So is this still something, you don't want to spill the beans and let the cat out on the speakers particularly? Speakers,
we've already started talking about our speakers, right? So one speaker that is going to be coming is Mr. Paul Cast. He's CEO of Paul Cast Studios. He's a filmmaker. He's a really, really brilliant, amazing millennial, right? He's going to be sharing with us on the topic will be discovered at GenZeal Conference. At the
GenZeal Conference.
Then another person that I'm excited to listen to is Enya Echeng. Enya Echeng is an AU Youth Ambassador, right? I know him personally, really brilliant, phenomenal individual, right? We're expecting architect Ochudo Ayi She's I can't remember the name of this her friend, but she's personal development and reinvention expert, and she's also the CEO of an architectural firm. Then we're also expecting me. I would speak at GenZeal Conference.
Oh, you should. You should.
I will speak at GenZeal Conference. Then we're also expecting Tochi Ifeanyi. She's a brilliant, fantastic Gen Z. She's done a lot. If we start talking about her content, just look for her.
But it's good to know that you have these individuals who would, bring everything into perspective.
Yes,
right.
Yes, they will. I trust the speakers. I mean, I reached out to them, most of them personally, and I'm really intentional about what we're doing. I believe every single person that will speak at GenZeal Conference, from MC to breakout session to networking session to the main speakers to panelists to fireside, every single person has tremendous value to add to our generation.
Okay. So for this particular edition of the GenZeal Conference, what do you hope people will leave there saying to themselves?
All right. To answer your question, I want to preface it with something. GenZeal Conference is one intentional step in a grand scheme to shift the narrative of a generation. It's one step we're taking, and there will be many more steps. As a matter of fact, this is just my humble contribution to the lot of steps that will be taken to shift the perspective of a generation. And so, saying that, the idea is we want to shift Gen Zs from being people that are considered to be pure vibes, right? To be people that they have vision and they have vibes. We are not going to tone down our swag, our freshness, our steez for anybody, right? But with our steez, we're also adding sense. We're also adding influence.
It's important.
Yes, and so that's one thing. The next thing I would like is for everybody that comes to GenZeal Conference to have clarity about who they are, their potential, where they are going, the kind of person they desire to be. Not everybody has to be like. Everybody has to be like. I'm looking for somebody to say. Not everybody has to be like me. Not everybody has to be like you.
Right? We're all different.
We're all different, and that is what I want. I want people to discover the beauty of their originality and uniqueness, and to pursue it relentlessly. So these two things, if we can achieve these two things in GenZeal Conference, I've done. You
have succeeded.
Yes.
Right. And I'm happy that you said it's not going to be a one-off. You're going to have other series. Maybe you will have such participation and engagement that you make it 3, 4 times, 5 times a year. So congratulations, and I wish you all the best on your conference. But young people are listening to you right now, some who may not be unable to attend this conference because of time, because of the distance. Maybe they are not even in Abuja at the moment, but they are hearing you. What plans do you have for them? Is it hybrid? Can they join online? Is first of all what I'm saying, and then after that, is there a community you're building as an offshoot from the conference?
Well, I'll start with the last question. There's a community currently being built. Anybody that hits the link to sign up for GenZeal Conference, I believe we'll get to that later. Anybody that hits that link, you're automatically, at the end of filling that link, you get to a WhatsApp group where pre-conference activities are already ongoing. Right, people are discussing, people are already picking their seat partners for the conference. All right, and so there is a community that's being built. However, this thing you said about streaming, if you tell Abuja people that you are streaming, they will not come.
They will not come. They'll think it's okay. So let us
intentionally. We have just said it's a physical event, but to get updates, right, about what's happening in the conference, follow us on social media, join the community. Maybe sometime after, we'll release the recordings of the conference on YouTube, on our various social media platforms. Right. So for now, we're not discussing streaming.
Okay. Yes. We're not discussing streaming for now. I had a conversation on a lighter note with someone who is a religious leader, and he says that he doesn't know if to celebrate this streaming part of what they do. People are like, I am joining online, and that is also affecting the participation of people, even in church. So yeah, I got you. But thank you so much for being part of the program. We have been discussing this very important issue of the Gen Z, the issues that they face, how we can support them and understand them and give them the kind of resources and whatever they need, especially for their mental health, because they pressure themselves a lot. But this is where we end today's edition. Thank you so much, Tamunoimim Kalada-Green, for being part of this. And again, I say well done, and I wish you the best during your conference.
All right, thank you, Dr. Joy. And just to end it, GenZeal Conference is holding in Now University next week, Saturday, 2nd August 2025. Now is the ideal location, beautiful place, gets you thinking intellectually and it's aesthetically pleasing. In their main multipurpose hall in Now University. To register, it's bit.ly/GenZeal with a capital Z. bit.ly/GenZeal with a capital Z. One more time. bit/GenZeal, GenZeal, ZEEL, but the letter Z for zebra is capital.
Is capital. Okay, that was Tamunoimim Kalada-Green, the convener of the GenZeal Conference. Again, I thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Joy, for having me.
This is where we end today's edition of the program. Rest assured, we'll be back next week with so much more. Have a restful weekend. I am Joy Asonye.